All right, let's get into it. Well, it's Friday.
It is again. So welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Warfighter Tobacco Podcast. I'm John. That's Scott. I know it's 2 in a row, and we got Justin over there as producer extraordinaire, and we're here to fill your lovely ear holes with some stuff. Like, I'm not even going to say it's cigar things. It might be.
It might be. Probably.
Yeah.
More than
a little bit of everything. I mean, we'll definitely touch on something about cigars.
Yeah.
But this episode, we're going to start off with something a little different. So we had the ATF come by today.
Yeah. They rolled in 2 vehicles deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the first time they came here, though.
No.
They're thankfully, there's some ATF agents that are cigar smokers.
Yes. And I mean, it's good news for Dave's dog.
Yeah, very much so. Because they open the door and Dave's like, hold on.
Yeah, I got to put my dog away.
But yeah, a couple ATF agents, they are cigar smokers. They've been in here over the past couple of years. And they're in town doing some work.
I guess
they wouldn't tell us what. At least I know last time when I had the conversations.
They probably don't tell the people that they're investigating that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what are you guys doing today?
So
we're investigating you guys. Oh, great.
So a couple of years ago, one of the same guys came in, and over just talking, we found out he was an ATF agent.
Yeah,
and like with you having a gun store and me working there in the past, and I mean I was on the phone with the ATF daily.
Yeah,
it was never a bad thing.
No, and we got inspected a couple times, and it
was
always a good interaction.
And it's just, I mean, they have a job to do, and we fell into the purview of their job, and that was
now.
Like,
do we think that they should have a job? No, but they do.
Yeah.
So we're not going to hold it against them as
I can't change the fact that they're there
and the ATF exists.
Yeah.
We don't condone the ATF, but these are good dudes.
They're not my friends. Like,
I mean, these guys might be.
I would hang out with them.
But the agency itself is
I'm not like, I love the ATF.
Right.
No. But so this was also back when pistol braces were technically illegal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could go back years with this one.
No, I'm talking about the last time the guy that came in today came in here a couple of years ago. Yeah. And so when I found out that he worked for the ATF, I specifically brought him into the arms room. And I knew my pistol was laid out on the workbench. And I just wanted to see what he's going to say.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, here's your arms room, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I'm working on that. And he looked at my AR pistol that's sitting there with the brace on it. And he's like, oh, that's a nice little setup you got there. And that was it. I'm like, you're not going to say anything about it? He's like, dude, I don't give a shit. It's not my job.
Yeah.
It's like, my job's to enforce whatever warrant they give me. Other than that,
yeah.
Dude, it's just like, oh, cool, man.
Well, but the pistol bracing, we might as well touch on that a little bit. First, it was legal. Then kind of illegal, then legal, then absolutely
then super illegal,
and now legal again.
Yeah, now it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I think that comes back to letting agencies create laws is a bad idea.
Well, and then the best part about all of it is I built it as a pistol because I didn't have time to form it out as an SBR. And then I went through all the legal back and forth of I can own it, I can't own it, I can own it, I can't own it. Now that I can legally own it, it's actually finally an SBR now.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. It's immaterial.
But it's not a registered pistol brace.
It is not.
SBR.
It is a short-barreled rifle.
Yeah.
Yep.
So did you put a stock on it yet?
Oh, yeah. Stock. Vertical foregrip.
Oh, yeah.
Where I had an angled foregrip on it before.
Yeah.
So it's done.
Nice.
Yep. And then actually I might change out my vertical foregrip because Dave had an extra and he gave it to me. But my tire gun's black and the foregrip's FDE.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I might have.
It's a little stubby one. I love them. I can order it. It's Dave's just like here.
I might have one floating around.
Yeah. Well, you got those fancy Tango down ones.
Yeah.
I was just looking at a cheap little Magpul one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and then I got that other lower I got to build out. I formed out as an SBR as well. I want to get a 3D printer.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because I want to make a Picatinny rail cigar holder. Like one of those SBRs, I want to option imaginable that I can do with a cigar or a cigar accessory. I want to do something on that rifle. I want to have like a little spot for a lighter and a cutter and hold my cigar and everything.
You got to also make an attachment that gives like an extension so the cigar can come all the way to your mouth while you have your cheek up.
Oh, like a clip on the stock.
It's just a reinforcement. Make sure you have.
You know how
consistent
you
head
used to
placement.
like have those little things that have your dope card sticks out the side of your bolt action rifle,
Yeah.
so you can see all your data that's on it. Do something like that with those arms, but it just holds the cigar.
As far as everything else, I mean, somebody invented pockets along the way.
Yeah, I mean, there's that too. Like I said, it is not for functionality or like appropriate use. Like this is just like, let's make this stupid.
That'd be awesome if y'all got back into long range shooting and everybody shows up with all their builds, and then there's like everybody in line, and then you see a little thing of smoke coming up from one of the shooters, and it's like, oh, there's John.
I got a challenge for people that have 3D printers. So Magpul makes a stock, and they're relatively inexpensive.
Yeah,
but they have a metal insert in them, I think, right?
Yeah.
Take that metal insert out of it and make a huge dick stock.
The grip is the balls.
Yes, the grip is the balls, and then it's just a penis with the barrel coming out of it. You know you can, and you know you should, and when you do, all I want is original idea by Scott and a picture. That's all I want.
Oh, now I really want a 3D printer.
I can't believe nobody's done that before.
I can't believe nobody's done it in general. Like,
Yeah,
just with fiberglass
or
you know,
machining.
Yeah.
yeah.
I have one of those. That was
The old tack sack.
Yep, I got a gift when we were at the gun store. A customer got me one of those. I actually rocked it on my rifle for.
Now, would that be considered a vertical grip or not? I mean, like, where are we at with this, ATF? Have we gotten a ruling?
I like that Google's like, did you mean tactical? I'm like, nope, I meant what I said.
Testicle foregrip.
Yeah, it's called a tack
It's
stack.
called a tack stack.
I just learned that.
But no, so a customer gave me one of those, and I put it on a rifle when I ran a carbine class in Nebraska. And it was hilarious because I mean it's functional.
Well,
You know what I mean? So like it didn't.
I mean, it's
affect-
functional in the sense that you like the feel of balls in your hand.
But we were doing barricades, and so I was using it as a barricade stop. It was great because my gun's through the barricade and the balls are sitting against it. So the hardest thing is I had to control my laughter to be able to be stable and shoot. That was the hardest part.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I still got that somewhere. I don't know. I think it's at home in a fucking box.
I got one somewhere too. I have no idea.
Yeah.
What
are you smoking on?
I
what are
don't
you
know.
about to finish?
I don't know.
Yeah?
It was
Is it unbanded?
It was an unbanded cigar that was in the humidor. And it was by itself on our random
Yeah,
shelf. And I'm
piece
like,
candy.
Yeah, it was decent.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it was.
Huh.
Not sure. So
I'm running a 762 Field Sumatra.
yeah, I got a 5.56 Garrison in the queue.
Like, not drinking today, so
Yeah, me either.
yeah.
Yeah. I think I do that too much. Maybe.
Not drink?
No, drink.
Oh,
Yeah.
I drink.
I got a rough weekend coming up. But
Yeah, you do.
Some say you don't do it enough.
some would say that. Sometimes I say that.
I had so the past week I had 3 drinks yesterday. When we recorded the other one. I had I don't know, maybe 2 inches out of a bottle, the last of a bottle of JMO over the weekend, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then it was whenever we recorded previously last week. So I didn't really drink that much this week either.
This weekend I went to 4-9 and our buddy Trey was out there with EP Carrillo. And
Nice.
so went and saw him and hung out there, and I bought a bottle of Green Spot and left the remainder of it in the locker there.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
You said you guys were talking. We're gonna get Trey on here.
Yeah, Trey wants to be on here. He's coming back in about a month.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
Trey's a good dude to talk about cigar industry stuff.
Yeah, and a Navy vet, so
Yeah.
it'll be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
He might hang out for our Freedom Friends show too. So
To get the real side of Trey on that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that'll be a fun one. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
all
So
I did.
you're heading down to the Mud Park in Houston this weekend, right?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hit that up.
Yeah.
Weather dependent. We'll see if it takes a turn or not. But
I'll bet you that place gets pretty interesting if it's raining hard.
yeah, but they do maintenance on it all the time. So during the week they have maintainers. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, I'm just talking about water level.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't been there when it's.
Yeah,
been,
you know
I've-
what I mean?
I've seen videos when it's like really muddy,
Yeah.
and I haven't been there when it's really muddy.
Oh.
So we'll see. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's always fun.
Right.
I like going down there. So, and I have a feeling Labor Day it'll be a good time. So
I got half invited to Port Aransas this weekend. And then by the end of the 45-second conversation, collectively, we all realized that it's Labor Day weekend, Port Aransas. And there's two ways in and out of that place.
Yeah.
The ferry, good fucking luck.
Right.
And the bridge. So, and it essentially was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no. And that was the end of the conversation.
You should talk. You should talk your buddy into coming down to the off-road park.
I got to wait at least a couple months.
Yeah.
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 They're danger close on popping a kid out like within the next 25 days.
Yeah.
So right now they're staying within like a, I don't know, hour and a half radius of the hospital essentially.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. It'll be fun. Reality's setting in, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah. His life's gonna change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It'll change a lot for him for probably 2 or 3 years. And then that kid will run that ranch all over the place. It'll be kind of cool, I think.
I don't even think it'll be, well, yeah, but obviously there's changes.
Yeah, there's no,
you know
there's
what I
no
mean?
way
Like,
around it.
it's not just like, yeah, it's just life is, business as usual. And we just have a kid now, No, there's things that change.
Yeah.
But I don't think their lifestyle, what they do, is going to be affected.
And it won't be a bad change.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I think it's a change for the better. And it's going to be, it's going to be an awesome ride.
Yeah.
I feel bad 18 years from now. I feel bad for
18, no.
whatever poor dude decides he wants to date
Oh shit.
William's daughter.
Yeah.
The amount of uncles that girl is
yeah.
going to have.
I forgot it was a girl.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's also got the ultimate, like, I got a whole lot of space out here. They'll never find your body.
I have a 40-foot Connex as an arms room and 9,000 acres.
Yeah.
That it's full of gators.
Yeah. Definition of fuck around and find out.
Right?
Speaking of Labor Day, though, we do have a Labor Day sale going on. So
We do.
If you're listening to this on the day it comes out, our Labor Day sale ends September 2nd. And we made it super simple, super easy. Add your items to the cart. The discount will automatically be applied. And then all you got to do is check out.
Yeah.
So everything on the website, 50% off. Go get your Warfighter goodie.
15.
15.
Let's stress the teen.
Oh, my bad. I've been drinking. I'm slurring my words. Shit. Yes, 1-5. Yeah. So go take advantage of that. Go get some Warfighter smokes.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people took advantage of it already. Had a
Yeah.
good couple days. And,
Yep.
yeah, but what else we can talk about?
We did get a couple questions that we got to run by
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
over the last episode.
And so, like, I don't like some of you for these questions, and but we'll cover them anyway.
I don't like some of you.
So
Why?
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, why don't you like them?
Because they're very pointed, good questions.
Kids, we actually have to give an answer.
We don't have to.
Well,
We don't have to do anything. Some
But
of them I
they're-
don't have an answer for.
They were very well thought out,
Yeah.
and there was actual like effort put behind them.
I think so. Yeah, somebody's clued in a little bit.
So they're paying attention.
Yeah.
So The first one comes from Justin Chambers. Do you have any plans for the Reserva Limitada de la Familia de Piranhas Subterraneous Nome Importa una Chingada? Woo! That was sold at NFG. Loved that stick and would love to get some more. By the way, that name was murder to type out.
That name was murder to think of.
So when we came up with that, it was it was a thing. So we sent it to 3 different people that speak fluent Spanish just to make sure we didn't mess it up.
Yeah.
Both John and I were running Google Translate, just throwing different stuff in there, and it was a good hour-long meeting just to be like, all right, do we have this right?
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we were kind of poking fun at the the big long name of cigars, the limited reserve family, whatever, right?
Yeah, the family reserve especial from blah 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 and so and
So, but no, that was a one-time release for the NFG, and whenever we do the NFG thing, it's usually a event-only thing. Sometimes, maybe in the future it'll be where it's an early release of something, but normally they're just for that event,
right?
Only.
And in years in the past, we've had some overrun that we've sold after the event. It just kind of depends on what our production schedule is looking like. But yeah, I mean, every year, the shop in Fort Worth called Underground Cigar Shop, they do an event called NFG, and it's usually in March. It's a ticketed event.
It's the no fucks given event.
Yep. And you can get limited edition stuff. You can get new release, pre-release stuff from different manufacturers and companies. Essentially, any vendor that's going to be there has to either create a special cigar for the event or a new release in order to be involved in the event.
Yeah.
And so you can get some really, really phenomenal cigars there. And it's always a great time too. But yeah, so every year we do. And then the coolest part about it is their customer base are absolute diehard cigar smokers.
Yeah.
And so it's really good for like kind of A/B testing of like, here's a small batch of something we're thinking of doing. What do you guys think? Right. And then we get feedback from them, and it's no bullshit.
Yeah.
We got guys there that'll be like, man, this cigar is amazing. We have guys like, hey, you got some work.
So was that the runner up to the San Andreas we did? Was that what that one was? Or was that a different year?
Fuck.
Oh, that was a different year.
Now you're asking me hard questions.
Yeah. No, that was the
Crayons 2.0 was a runner up for the San Andreas.
Yeah.
This one was this was that bold one that we did, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. It had some age on it. It was kind of a bolder cigar, full bodied.
Yeah.
We've done what, 6 NFGs now?
Yeah.
Over 6 years.
Yeah.
On top of all the other blending and all the cigars and everything. Like, it's hard to we need to start writing this down.
It's probably written down somewhere.
In the emails of leading up into planning for the event.
We should have a timeline made up when we come out with something, release date, what it was, just for our records. We should probably do that.
Even if it's like, we could do it like handwritten on one of the walls, not like on the wall, but like pieces of paper, and just do like a timeline, like, 2016 when we started, and then just like, 2016, it was this cigar, this cigar, this cigar. 2017, we did this and this. 18, we did, you know what I mean? And just chronologically put down everything that we made when we made it. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. But we should start a spreadsheet until we can get that. Because it'd be cool to make it like, nice and frame it.
Right.
Every 5 years or something, do an updated one. But yeah. Because my memory, it only goes back about 6 months. I don't know. So if that.
I was going to say. Yeah. Do we answer the question?
Yeah. So the answer is no.
Okay. We're not making any more. That's what it was. Because I was about to ask what was the question again.
Basically, just what the plan.
It was just a one-time run. And so that's kind of the interesting thing about the limited edition stuff. It's limited.
Yeah.
The next question comes from AJ. He says, with Christopher May leaving Rocky Patel to start a new business, and that business first client being Esteban Carreras, Warfighter having their cigars rolled at Esteban Carreras factories, how does that help or affect sales and marketing of Warfighter products? Will we see Warfighter become more of a global brand?
So just for the other listeners, his company is going to be overseas distribution.
Yep.
And John, you had the perfect answer to this question.
I did. I think that's a conversation that Christopher and Warfighter Tobacco need to have instead of AJ and Warfighter Tobacco. Yeah. AJ, your question specifically is the one that we were talking about, where Scott said he hates our listeners.
Yeah, it's because it's a maybe, but we haven't had the conversation yet. It has been a thought in our minds. It won't affect the sales and marketing.
No, and it's just
the only thing it would affect is over.
The easiest way to look at it is, our cigars are made at Tabacalera Carreras, Esteban Carreras factory. But you don't see any ties between Esteban Carreras and Warfighter Tobacco when it comes to marketing or, anything like that. So it would kind of be along the same lines. Craig is a great friend of ours, and obviously we do business together. And their brand is awesome. Their cigars are phenomenal. But we're two separate companies.
Yeah, very unique cigars.
Yeah.
It's unique. I mean, we're never. We're separate companies completely. So
yep.
That being said, if there's an opportunity, I mean, maybe it's a conversation we'll have.
Like right now we do have some distribution in Australia. We got the boys down there at Garrison Supply Company. So if you're in Australia and you want some Warfighter Tobacco cigars, Garrison Supply Company.
Yeah.
I think it's Garrison Supply Company.com.au or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We'll link it somewhere. But yeah, they actually just placed an order, so they should be receiving some new cigars here as soon as customs unfucks themselves.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to break into some other markets. It'll be interesting with our brand though, because I feel like there's some markets, some areas, countries that I don't know if we'd be a good fit.
Well, especially in some countries that, for instance, the people might not respect their military like the U.S. does.
Well, like I don't think that we'd be like a top selling cigar in like Syria.
No, probably not.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think that, but like I think we do very well in Germany and the UK.
Definitely the UK. I think we would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some parts of France.
Yeah.
But every single country has their own set of import rules, their own tax structures, their own labeling laws. Like it gets very interesting when you start playing with all these other countries because every single country is different.
Yeah.
And none of them are the same. It's not like, it's just like that. Like, no. So the awesome part about Christopher starting his own company is this is what he's been doing for a lot of the past, 20 something years.
Yeah.
And so he's very well versed in how all these countries work. And their import processes and where it has to ship from and what documentation needs to go with it and the duties and customs and all. Like, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I've dabbled in a little bit of that. And I mean, if that was my full-time job and that was the only thing I ever had to do, I don't think it would be that hard. Because you could just you figure out your system for each country. You know what I mean? Like, this is how this country does it. Cool. Write down your, real list of, okay, this is how I ship it to here.
Well, it's the relationships is the hard part. Like I don't speak very many other languages, like none.
I know.
So that's that's kind of hard. That's kind of the hard part. But yeah,
yeah. But yeah. So to answer the question, I think we did answer it.
Yeah.
The last question comes from Leah Hunley. Question time. What cigar do y'all make that's close to the aging room Cuatro Nicaragua? I was one of the chosen ones who had to reteach my taste buds on everything. Still working on it 4 years later.
Oof. I'm assuming that's a COVID-related injury.
Yeah.
So the aging room Cuatro Nicaragua. I can't remember the last time I smoked one.
I can't remember if I've smoked one.
I don't. So I'm looking up online to figure out some tasting notes. Country's origin for
the tobacco,
and the profile of it to kind of see, based on that, if we have something that we might think is going to be close to it.
Right.
So the age room Cuatro Nicaragua is more on the the full body side on the profile. It's Nicaraguan tobacco. I don't care about the history of the company. It's number one cigar of the year in 2022 or 2021. Excuse me. Oh no, 2021. It was 14. It was number one before that. And there's no tasting notes on here.
Yeah.
So let me see if somebody else has tasting notes.
But I think ultimately the answer is going to be I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay, here we go. Oh, what the fuck? This review is like 57 pages long. Just give me a brief overview of your tasting notes, please. Black pepper, creaminess, chocolate, malt, caramel, and nuts. This is the hard part about trying to match cigars to something else. Every cigar is going to be different.
Yeah.
There's different combination of tobaccos that are inside it. And it also depends on the different crop years of when it's grown, because there's, it's a natural product. So there's all kinds of stuff that can affect the growth of it. The nutrients in the soil, how sunny or not sunny it is, the amount of rain they get, all that stuff plays a factor in it. But so kind of what I'm getting off this is a medium to full body cigar. It's all Nicaraguan. Your tasting notes are going to be kind of a little bit of everything. Some pepper, some white pepper, sweet, spicy nuances. I heard creaminess. I got hints of chocolate. So it kind of just depends.
What's the wrapper?
Nicaraguan.
But I mean, is it?
That's all it says. It doesn't tell me much anything else on it.
Yeah, so I'm going to stand by my answer. I don't know. But a sampler pack from Warfighter Tobacco will let you decide if we have one close to that.
Honestly, it's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Unless you're, only dead set on trying one cigar.
Yeah.
But if you're only dead set on trying one cigar from a manufacturer, I couldn't judge Plasencia based on one cigar they make.
Right.
Yeah.
It's either going to be the best country or best company ever or the worst company ever.
Yeah. It's so, it's hard. And it might not be something that's, in your wheelhouse. You might pick a cigar that doesn't go with your palate, doesn't go with what you like to, your flavor profile that you like. So yeah, I'd try a sampler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the risotto. But I'd go with the sampler pack. Yeah. Any other ones? Any other ones from the past we didn't get to either?
There was one. I can't remember off the top of my head if we've covered this or not, but this one comes from Antonio Morales. He said, what was the reason for choosing Nicaragua as your tobacco plant location versus other countries?
Nicaragua is the best tobacco in the world.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
I kind of agree with that. But no, I'm not familiar with Dominican. Like as far as the country and the factories, and I've never been there. So it's kind of us sticking with what was familiar a little bit.
Yeah.
And the connections we made and
right.
Yeah.
No. So but no, there's factories in all over Central America.
Yeah.
But almost every major manufacturer has a factory in Nicaragua.
Even some of the big Dominican manufacturers are building huge factories in Nicaragua right now.
Factories.
So
there's a big shift to Nicaraguan tobacco years ago, and it's just been steadily growing. Obviously people still enjoy Dominican tobacco and Honduran.
Well,
tobacco.
I think the just because the factory's in Nicaragua doesn't mean you can't use Dominican tobacco there.
Yeah, right.
People do all the time. I think part of it is is labor expenses. Nicaragua's still on the cheaper side there.
Yeah.
And logistically, Esteli kind of has it figured out.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. So
yeah.
Why would you put a factory even in Nicaragua, right? Why would you pick a town outside of Esteli? Because Esteli has, all of the processing where you go and you buy the tobacco.
Yep.
It has a lot of the fields. It has a lot of, even the fields that are in other regions in Nicaragua they bring them to Nicaragua to process, or to Esteli to process.
Yep.
So just logistically, it just makes a lot of sense for that. But
all the box factories are there, all everything. You got bands, the whole nine. So yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It's it's this little town in the mountains just solely built to make cigars.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I don't really think they do much of anything else.
No.
That's literally the whole industry.
I think that's what supports the town.
Yeah. I mean, the town supports
the industry.
The industry.
Yeah. It's symbiotic.
Yeah. But you're not I don't think you really see, I don't know what.
I mean, you have all these different businesses that are in there, but you don't have an industry
right
that the majority of that town is focused around.
Yeah.
Like
you see rice production, you see textile stuff where they're making shirts and stuff, but that's in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
And that supports those towns. But yeah, tobacco definitely, without tobacco, Esteli would be tiny. Probably.
Yeah. It wouldn't be what it is right now. No way. I mean, the tobacco industry probably employs, I'm going to assume, because I don't know, and I don't know if I could ever find hard numbers on it anywhere, because there's no like labor,
maybe
department. But I'm going to assume that over 50% of the residents that live in Esteli are employed through the tobacco industry that's there.
I think you're on the low end.
Yeah,
I bet
probably.
it's closer to 65, 70%.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you go to some of the factories, like the big ones, they'll have 800 employees.
Yeah. Well, you got to think, you got factories and you got the processing plants, you got the box factories, you got the fields, you got the farms, you got all the smaller shops and rollers. There's so many arms of the industry that stick out in that town, that employ people.
That was a good question.
Yeah. If you were going to source cigars from another area, another region, where do you think you would be your next go-to?
I think my next visit, without me committing, I would go to the Dominican to check it out. I would also like to. There's some in Mexico. I wouldn't mind seeing some factories in Mexico, but I can't say I would commit to anything.
I'd look at some places in Honduras.
Yeah,
just because it's.
I think I would avoid Honduras a little bit though, just because of the more unstable government and stuff there. I'd be a little bit more worried about Honduras than I would other places.
But the DR is an island. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
It's hurricane season. There's a whole bunch of people that are starting to do stuff out of Africa right now.
And this is Nicaragua. Yeah. So more than 65,000 people working on plantations, dryers, treatment centers, and cigar factories.
So now look up the population of Esteli, Nicaragua. There we go.
Oh.
Of Esteli.
This is, yeah.
So 96,000.
So 65 out of 96. Yeah. I mean, that's close to 65, 70%.
Yeah.
96,000 people in Esteli. Oh.
They got the first McDonald's.
Yeah. I mean, that's essentially the size of Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah.
No, Lincoln had 300,000. Yeah, just kidding.
Yeah.
It's size of New Braunfels. New Braunfels has 100,000 right now.
Oh, what else is new?
In the cigar world or just in the world in general?
In general.
All
right.
I don't know. It's like, I feel like it's Groundhog's Day. Like every day you wake up and it's like the same bullshit in the news.
Yeah.
Like nothing's changed. It's just like, oh, so-and-so said this or so-and-so did. Like the other day, when was it? I think it was Monday. The only thing that the news had to talk about for the entire news cycle of that day was Trump went to Arlington.
Yeah.
And Harris took the day off.
Yeah.
And then they compared it like, oh, well, that's all they did today. And it's like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what they do on a day-to-day. You know what I mean? Like, what else is going on in the world?
Right.
Like the world is on fire right now. All of it. The whole fucking place.
Yeah.
And that's what this is the news cycle. Like, come on.
And we give a shit about two
I
people.
don't fucking care. Yeah. I miss like good news.
Right. Fuck.
Where they'd be like, hey, so-and-so in the middle of nowhere just discovered blah, 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 and it's just like, oh, that's cool as shit,
Yeah.
Nope. I can't remember the last time that I heard the news being like, this is something positive that happened. No, it's all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I get excited for now is September's right around the corner. That's like fucking golden hour for sports.
Oh, yeah.
Playoff baseball is coming in, college football, NFL.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited to set up the fucking iPad in the backyard, light up a cigar, and just fucking watch all the sports. So excited.
Yeah, I don't care about any of that.
No.
It's fair. It's fair.
I might have to watch football this year because of Mal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She likes Philly, right?
Yeah.
The Eagles. That's her team. Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, I really don't give two shits about sports.
Yeah.
I used to like sports a lot. Like when I lived in Massachusetts, just Boston is a sports crazed town.
Yeah.
And I was bartending at the time. If I didn't know about the latest games, fuck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was very up to date on all, Boston sports teams and everything that was going on. And then when I moved away from Boston, I realized that the rest of the world, nobody gives a fuck about sports.
Well, like I say, I don't care about sports. I will watch a football game, and I enjoy watching a football game. I actually enjoy watching golf. I don't know why.
No, like these,
But I could care less about stats and
in Massachusetts,
stuff
there
like
are
that.
people that literally will be physically and emotionally upset
yeah,
from when the game ends on Sunday until the game starts again the next Sunday
right.
off of one player and one thing that he did that was wrong in this guy's eyes. And now this dude is just he's just burning the world down because I can't believe he's fucking. It's just like, dude, like, really? Like you have nothing else in your life that you have to worry about?
College football is very similar.
I grew up in Nebraska. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how many Saturday weddings did you go to during college football season?
Well,
Scott?
people would get shunned if they did a wedding on a
Yep.
game day.
Yeah.
Like, if you do it, it better be like people aren't going to show up till after the game, or people are going to show up or leave
Right.
for the game.
You better have a
Yeah.
TV of the game
Oh,
going
yeah.
during the ceremony so
Yeah.
people can check in. Like it's like Alabama fans, same thing. It's fucking wild.
Yeah. No, I enjoy. Like I would go tailgate any game and have a great time.
The
Like,
tailgate's amazing.
Like I enjoy the atmosphere,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I enjoy the shit talking and the banter. And,
Yep.
but I don't have time to get into it.
What turned me off from watching professional sports was when the players decided that their opinions need to be made public, and they need to try to use their platform where people like to enjoy watching a professional sports
Yeah.
game to make a political statement or a religious statement
Yeah.
or some kind of express their views somehow outside of the actual sport they're playing. Like that's why I love hockey.
So we talked about this, and I kind of agree with you. Like if I'm watching the game
Yeah.
and I'm seeing politics during the game,
Yep.
that's where I draw my line.
That was it. That's when I stopped watching.
Now,
sports.
when people voice their opinion on their own, whatever,
Oh yeah, their platforms. Don't give a shit. Go do your thing.
I don't care.
But during the game,
Yeah, during
No,
the
no,
game,
no.
no. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I'm a stickler for the national anthem. I understand that
It should be, and it was at one time, the one thing that brought everybody together,
no matter what,
no matter what.
no matter what.
Yeah,
And I'm all about everybody having their right to free speech, to express their opinions. And I get it. I do. I don't know if people can look back at history and realize that whatever you're trying to do during the national anthem, whatever cause you're trying to support, whatever end goal you're trying to reach,
yeah,
you're doing the opposite.
yeah. You're alienating.
You're not
Yeah.
you're not gaining traction on what your cause is, what your beliefs are. You're actually turning everybody against you and what you believe.
Yeah,
Because you're essentially disrespecting something that the majority of this country actually does stand for.
yeah,
As much as you do or don't want to admit it, it's true.
Yeah.
Like the majority of this country, I'm willing to bet probably 95% of this country supports the national anthem when it's played.
Yeah.
Is respectful.
I mean, I get upset when I'm at an event and the national anthem's being played and there's somebody that's like older than 6.
Yeah.
And if they're acting up or their parents aren't correcting them, or you know what I mean? Like, it used to be taught that that's the one time you stand up, do what you're supposed to, you show respect, you know, and then to try to use that particular time to make a statement. I don't agree with that either.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know. Like you're on a team and your actions reflect that team. And
right.
You know, I think, you know, and I think there were consequences to some of that.
Oh, 100%. There were.
Yeah.
But that was when all that stuff was going down. That's about the time where I was just like, you know what? Like, these players and these coaches and the staff on all these teams are getting paid an insane amount of money to play a sport.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I enjoy watching it. But when you want to do that bullshit, I'm not going to support it anymore.
And I'll take it, like, I'll flip this, right? Like, you watch the UFC and then the fighters at the end give their political take, and it's usually something I agree with. But I don't appreciate them doing it after.
I don't want to. I don't care.
I don't care. I don't want to hear about it when you're in.
Call out the next dude you're going to fight.
Yeah,
that's what the press conference is for.
Yeah,
right. Speak your shit at the press conference if anybody wants to listen. After that,
you know. But when you get you know, I just
yeah. But like I said, that's why I like watching hockey. You know, you don't see anybody try to play those fucking games.
No, I mean you have opposing teams from other countries standing for our national anthem.
Well, and depending on where you're at, you get the U.S. national anthem, the Canadian national anthem before the game. You know, and both teams, both sides, and all the fans respect both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, okay, so what's different between this group of fans and players, and a different sport? You know, like why does that? You know, I don't get it.
Yeah. But then, so I'm going to shift the topic a little bit. What about people from other countries that are in the United States displaying their flag from their country? What's your take on that?
By all means.
Yeah, I don't care either.
Well, what would we do if we played in another country?
No, I'm not talking the players. I'm just talking like random people.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right.
You have to. You're supporting your country's team.
I'm not talking sports. I'm just talking.
Oh, just like, in general?
Yeah, just in general. Like you're flying your country of origin's flag on your vehicle or whatever. Like that does not bother me.
No, until you put it on a flagpole.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can, but there's a way to do.
There's a way to do it.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to fly that above or in place of the American flag in this country, you're wrong.
Right. On a flagpole.
And it's the same in every other country. If you try to fly an American flag, it's the same. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like this, it's not like we're special here.
Yeah. But I think it's okay to definitely have pride in whatever country you came from.
Absolutely.
As long as you're also trying to assimilate to becoming an American.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I don't have a problem with that. And the reason I bring it up is because I've heard people bitch about it, and I think it's dumb.
No.
Yeah.
And especially at like a sporting event.
Yeah.
You know, and even more so when there's international teams. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't.
What's funny is in recent years, not necessarily recent years, but more often in recent years, the NFL has overseas games. So they play in the UK.
Yep.
The opening game for college football was in Dublin. But when they played the national anthem, all the locals there that are from Dublin, UK, Germany, Mexico, they've played all these. They're all super respectful. They stand up from their seat. They let the national anthem play, and then they sit down and they're like, all right, time for ball.
But they get it because when their national anthem plays,
absolutely,
that's what the fuck they do.
Yeah.
Like what you went to when you were in Mexico City, you went to
Lucha Libre.
Yeah. Now, did they do the Mexican national anthem or anything like that?
Oh, I don't know. I was hammered.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
But I can like,
I'll tell you this.
But
if they did, I guarantee you I stood up and took my hat off.
Yeah.
But
say they traveled.
They do. But
and you know, like, and they do it here. Like, I'm going to show the same amount of respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's whatever.
You know what? I'm willing to bet. I'll ask Mal and see if she remembers too. But I'm willing to bet that they did.
You probably just didn't know they were doing it because it was in a different language.
No, but I'll bet you that I stood up and took my hat off.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
that's just, it's been not really ingrained in me, but that's just what I've been taught.
Well,
That
it's
that's
just
just the right thing to do.
Respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what you do. At any country's,
Especially if you're
Not-
in that country.
yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but like I said, like I grew up playing hockey, and I grew up playing in you know, the northern Midwest in New England.
Yeah.
And we played tournaments in Canada across, you know, Niagara Falls, and we played all over the place. And we'd be on the ice before a game playing a team from a different country, and they'd play, you know, the U.S. and the Canadian national anthems, and we both stand for both of them.
Yeah.
And it was, we did it as a sign of respect for the opposing team, and the opposing team did it as a sign of respect for us.
Yeah.
You know, and it was never ever like, not once did anybody ever be like, why do I have to do that?
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just like, oh, they're going to play the Canadian national anthem too. And nobody even questioned like what we're supposed to do. They're like, oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they played it, and we, you know, it's just like,
You know, from this conversation, I just added something to my bucket list.
yeah,
I want to go to a Nicaraguan sporting event.
I want to go to a soccer game
Yeah.
down there.
Either that or a baseball game.
It
Either
was-
one would be fun.
But their stadium is massive.
Yeah.
That would be
that's huge.
so fun.
Yeah.
And the bar that we usually go to is literally tucked underneath the stands of the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Oh,
it would
yeah.
be so fun.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to go if we, that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when soccer season or football season is or whatever.
Right?
I don't know.
That'd be fun, though. I would do that.
That'd be cool as shit. They probably play on like the weekend when we leave, or
Probably.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be cool. I've never went to like a football, like when I lived in Europe, I never went to a football game.
Yeah.
But when the World Cup was going on,
I don't know if I'd go to a World Cup game.
but Belgium was playing in the World Cup.
Yeah.
And so what they did in Europe's kind of cool in this aspect of like they call it, in Belgium at least, they call them a Grand Plaza, which is like their downtown city center area. And there's all these monster buildings around this huge open area.
Yeah.
And that's the city center. And they do all kinds of events and things, and they have vendors and whatever, all, you know. Then the wintertime, they'd have ice skating rinks and Christmas markets, and like it's cool as shit. And
Yeah.
so they do stuff all year round in these city centers. When the World Cup was going on and Belgium was playing in the World Cup, they had these massive, like 60-foot wide TVs, like projectors that they had in there, and it was just a fucking party.
Yeah.
And there was probably, I don't know, 50,000 people in there watching, and like I felt like I was at the stadium. You know what I mean? Like it had the vibe. Yeah,
Oh,
I was
shit.
in that. It was so fucking. Look at that's in Brussels. That's in the Grand Plaza in Brussels, downtown. But look up Belgian World Cup Mons, MONS. Of course, it's just gonna, yeah. Or just look up Mons Belgium Grand Plaza, and that way you can see just the Grand Plaza, what it looks like. GRAN
Then what was the
Yeah.
last piece?
PLAZ. Yeah, try World Cup. See what it does.
Gotcha.
There we go. So it's not as big as Brussels, but it's still, I mean, there's a fucking shitload of people there, you know? And it's just a massive party, and everyone's having a great time. That's not the World Cup. That's something different. But yeah, they had this massive projector in there.
So the reason I said
great
I wouldn't really want to go to like a big game in a foreign country
Oh.
is because I've seen some of those after the wrong team loses or something.
Oh, it turns into a shit show
yeah,
sometimes.
it turns into a big fight.
Typically, though, I mean, when you have the rival teams that are playing, you know it's going to happen, you know?
But I wouldn't want to be just the random guy in the middle of that.
Like I would need like a couple of weeks leading up to that game to prepare for it, right? Because like when we go to a sporting event in the United States, we sit down, we get our overpriced beer and our overpriced food, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we just hang out, we watch the game. There's a handful of sporting teams in different sports that like they might have like a fight song, or they might have like a whatever. You go to one of these games and they have all of these things, these chants, and I don't even know what they call them.
Right.
But it's like nonstop. And there are all a bunch of different ones. Like, I need to learn these before I go there. I can't just be the dumbass that's just standing there being like, I don't know what you're saying. I think that would make it even more
I
fun.
want to watch a soccer game, like on what's the TV show? Ted
Ted Lasso.
Lasso.
yeah.
But I want to watch it in the bar with like that little group of people.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Did y'all see you were talking about how like when the wrong team wins at the Hard Rock Casino in Miami, they had a soccer game and people were literally crawling through like air conditioning ducts.
Oh no.
And this was just when they were coming in like starting to accept people. But it got like
Wow.
yeah, that's when they start trampling through the lines and everything.
Wow.
They absolutely destroyed this place. Broke all the glass windows.
What country's this?
The United States.
Yeah.
No. What? No, the fans.
Oh,
Uh,
I think that's Manchester United is the blue and white,
Yeah.
maybe. I have no idea, actually. It could be a locals teams. Who knows?
it was bad. But
Wow.
yeah. And that was like leading up to the game. That wasn't even like they started playing. Like it's rowdy.
Yeah, but I think going to a game in Esteli would be fun.
I'm trying to look up the teams real quick who played.
Uh,
Isn't that hard to find the teams?
I guess they travel well then if they came to Miami for the game.
Yeah.
But unless it's just people in Miami that are into soccer, I don't know.
Yeah. Apparently it was like a big cup.
Oh.
It was like a big tournament thing that was going on. So I guess a bunch of either traveled or were already there,
Yeah.
but they filled the stadium like
Wow.
too much. Yeah.
Wow.
But there was photos I was looking for them of literally like the AC ducts, like the massive ones that you can't climb in that were like broken down because people were crawling through them to get in there. I was like,
Jeez.
y'all are wild.
Right.
But I've seen there's been a couple times where they've had to call soccer matches because fans like rush the field and
Yeah.
everything. And it gets to the point where they're like, we can't control this. So
Yeah.
they call the game. I'm like, fuck. Y'all are wild.
Argentina and Colombia. Sorry, that's a lot harder to find those two teams than I thought it was going to be. That threw me off. Yeah. Anything else you want to chime in on this guy?
Nah, we'll wrap this.
Justin, you got anything else for today?
Nothing for me, boys.
I got nothing else.
Well, I guess we'll see y'all next week then.
Yeah. Until next Friday. Don't forget to check out our Labor Day sale going on right now. Go over to warfightertobacco.com. No code needed. Whatever you want to get in your cart, put it in your cart, and then it automatically shows up for you.
So after the sale, when you send me an email that says I forgot to use the code, I'm going to be like, it was already there.
There is no code. But yeah, so go get some smoky treats. Our double Coronas are still on sale, even though we're doing a sale.
Oh,
So you save.
so a double
You save and save.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, so if you made it to this far, you just got hooked up with cigars.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys next week. So keep smoking. Yep.
Cheers.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah, I know we're not drinking. It's weird. What do I do?